December is upon us. The month of December is the month where things are picking up again. Only two planets that are still in retrogrades, Jupiter and Uranus. The rest is direct. Even though Mercury is still in shadow, it's direct. The month of December focus will always be on Sagittarius and Capricorn because the Sun will highlight the season. Sagittarius season by the early part of the month, and then on the later part of the month we're going to enter the Capricorn season. But the most important thing for December is the skip step. North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, planets in Pisces, Saturn and Neptune. And then we're going to have a bunch of energies, concentrated energies in Sagittarius, Mars, Venus, Mercury. We're going to experience, and of course the Sun, we're going to experience a skip step where planets in Sagittarius will square the nodes, the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And they will also square, these planets in Sagittarius will also square Saturn and Neptune. So this is a time where we can review what can be done to avoid further karma, because skip step is a very karmic configuration. We're aiming towards Pisces, North Node. We're letting go of Virgo, South Node, but Sagittarius is getting in the way. Planets and energies in Sagittarius is getting in the way. That's the meaning of skip step. Lessons that we failed to learn, or in this case, because this is transit, lessons that we can learn so that we're not blocking our path towards North Node in Pisces and blocking our path towards releasing South Node in Virgo. So these are my simple explanations on how we can harness the energies of December for all 12 rising signs. For the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For the month of December highlights, 3 houses will be very, very important for Aries rising, which is your Sagittarius house, your Pisces house, and your Virgo house. Later in the month, the focus will be on your Capricorn house. But for most of the month, these 3 houses, Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius, will be very, very important. For Aries rising, Sagittarius will be your 9th house. The bulk of the energy will be here. And then your Pisces house will be your 12th house. And then your Virgo house will be your 6th house. This is because in order for you to harness the power of December, is that you need to integrate this 3 house. The 9th house Sagittarius, 12th house Pisces, and 6th house Virgo. The bulk of the karma or the energy will come from the 9th house. It will square the 12th and the 6th house. So you will be heading towards the 12th house, spirituality, which is ultimate surrender, and then trust in the universe, because the North Node is there. Saturn is also there, Neptune is also there. The South Node, the daily details, will be in the 6th house, Virgo. You're releasing that. It doesn't mean that you're releasing your health, but it's just you're releasing the critical expression of Virgo. But the challenge in order for you to complete this will come from your 9th house, which is Sagittarius house, and it will be continuously unraveling for the entire month of December. So focus on how you can integrate your 9th house, which is your house of belief, travel, religion, higher minds, how you can integrate the 9th house with your journey or your short-term purpose, which is the 12th house. And then integrate it, but at the same time, don't be too critical, because the 6th house Virgo is where you were meant to let go. So if I can advise you, focus on how you can cultivate harmony between your ninth house and then your 12th house, but not to succumb to the critical and sometimes overwhelming 6th house. So just surrender, 6th house, just surrender, trust the universe, 12th house. Don't be too overly critical, 6th house, but at the same time, do not let your dogma, which is the ninth house, Sagittarius, carry you away, thinking that you are always right. No, 12th house is the key for you, Aries rising, for this month, in order for you to resolve the skip step between the nodes and your Sagittarius house. For the second rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising, the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. The astrological highlights for December for Taurus rising will focus yourself on your Pisces house, your Virgo house, and as well as your Sagittarius house. For Taurus rising, your Pisces house will be your 11th house. For your Virgo house will be your 5th house. And then for your Sagittarius house, for Taurus rising, it would be your 8th house. So the challenge would come from your 8th house, house of transformation, because the 8th house will the 8th house energy, which is Sagittarius, will naturally square the nodes, which are currently in your 11th and 5th house. So this month we will have a skip step. This is a very important lesson that we need to learn this month. Don't let your 8th house distract you from achieving at least short-term goals of North Node in Pisces in your 11th house. Remember, North Node is where we're heading, and 11th house is long-term goals. Excuse me. 5th house, where excuse me. 5th house, where the South Node is where you're meant to let go, meaning that let go of your tendency to be self-critical in terms of your creativity and joy, and embrace your flow and surrender and trust in your friendship and basically your goals and your hopes and dreams. But the challenge will come from the 8th house. The 8th house is quite a challenging house to begin with. This is the house of transformation, intimacy, shared resources. So in order for you to harness or harvest the month of December, don't let secrecy, don't let transformation, don't let jealousy get in the way of your achieving your long-term goals, achieving your hopes and dreams, 11th house. And don't be too dogmatic also, because Sagittarius is going to square this, create a square or skip step with the nodes. So don't be too dogmatic, just let go and surrender in terms of your 11th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For my dear Gemini rising friends, the month of December will focus more on the skip step between many planets, including the sun and luminaries, transiting Sagittarius, and then the nodes, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, North Node, and South Node in Virgo. For Gemini rising, Sagittarius will be your 7th house, Virgo would be your 4th house, and Pisces would be your 10th house. So for Gemini rising, it's pretty straightforward. Focus on your career, let go things at the home, 4th house, that will basically block your advancements in your career, 10th house. But you also have to be careful of your partnership, 7th house, because your partnership, your relationship could create a skip step or create a blocking karma for you to achieve your short-term goals of North Node in Pisces, as well as Saturn and Neptune in Pisces in your 10th house. So focus on your 10th house, release what needs to be released in your 4th house, and beware of karmic relationships or relationship dynamics, partnership dynamics that could basically hamper your growth in your 10th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising, the most accurate, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For my dear Cancer rising friends, the month of December will focus on the skip step that will happen between planets and luminaries that will transit Sagittarius, and also planets that will transit Pisces as well as the North Node and South Node in Virgo. So 3 part of your chart will be activated, will be very important to look at for the month of December, which is your Pisces house, your Virgo house, as well as your Sagittarius house. For Cancer rising, your Sagittarius house is your 6th house, and then for Cancer rising, your Pisces house will be your 9th house, and for Cancer rising, your Virgo house would be your 3rd house. So something that needs to be let go of in terms of siblings, 3rd house, communications, and then something that needs to grow for your own sake, which is the 9th house, travel, philosophy, higher minds. But be careful the grinding details or the very critical view or critical requirements from the 6th house, because 6th house is health, routines, chores. This is also pets. This is also the details of your work, everyday life basically. Beware the mundane task, everyday tasks that could drag your growth through the 9th house. So focus on the 9th house, focus also on the 6th house, but the good things of the 6th house that will not drag you down in terms of your growth of the 9th house, but at the same time let go things that need to be let go of in terms of your 3rd house, communications, and also siblings. So basically communications axis, 3rd and 9th, will be activated, as well as your work axis, 6th house, where Sagittarius is located, because for most of the month of December, many energies, including luminaries, planets, will transit your 6th house, creating the skip step between the nodes in your 9th and the 3rd house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Leo rising, the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For my dear Leo rising friends, the month of December will focus on the energies of the skip step. This is a very karmic configurations, so it is very important. It will happen throughout December. So we will focus energies on your Virgo house, your Pisces house, as well as your Sagittarius house. For Leo rising, your Virgo house will be your 2nd house. South Node is there. Pisces house will be your 8th house. North Node is there, as well as Saturn and Neptune. And Sagittarius will be your 5th house. Many planets, including luminaries, the sun and the moon, will also transit here in your 5th house. So your growth will come from the 8th house. Transformation, literally transformation. This is psychological transformation. It could also be physical transformation. This is also shared resources, intimacy. This is the house of the occult, secrets, dogma, not dogma, but more like a cult. This is basically the house where you are asked by the universe to transform yourself inside out. Your growth, North Node is here. Your growth is here. You need to let go things related to money, 2nd house, that bogging you down. But at the same time, a new karmic pattern, which is a skip step, will occur on the month of December because many energies will transit Sagittarius. Sagittarius will be your 5th house. So children, creativity, joy, hobbies, if you spend too much on those things, it doesn't mean that you cannot spend on those things. Of course you can. It's very important. But if you're having too much of it, it will jeopardize your growth for the 8th house. It will also could jeopardize your 2nd house, money, because skip step is basically a square or a friction between both nodes with one particular sign. In fact, it can be with 2 particular signs. Sagittarius, the opposite, is also Gemini. There's going to be a full moon in Gemini. So be mindful of that. Yes, 8th house is quite difficult, but you will be enticed by this energy to focus more on your 5th house. But for your growth, 8th house is where you're going. 2nd house is where you need to let go things that you need to let go in terms of money and value. And 5th house is where the karma could be created that could hamper your growth to the 8th house. So just be mindful. 8th house, 2nd house, and 5th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Virgo rising, the most accurate, followed by Virgo sun and Virgo moon. For my dear Virgo rising friends, month of December will focus on the skip step because the energy will be focused there. This configuration, this very karmic configuration, will occur mostly very intense in December. The south node will be in your sign, Virgo. The north node, Saturn as well as Neptune, will be in your 7th house, and Sagittarius will be in your 4th house. So you need to let go of things in yourself, 1st house, that is no longer serving you. Your overly critical personality, let that go. You need to focus on your relationship. Surrender, but at the same time, because Saturn is also here, surrender, trust the universe, but go with the flow with relationship, but also have healthy boundaries. But your 4th house could get in the way because this is a skip step, so Sagittarius will create a tension here. Sagittarius for Virgo rising is your 4th house. So a tension could come from family, related to your relationship, from your home, from your ancestry, basically your family, your home, your mother, your house even, your properties, something in those realm or in the realms of the 4th house could create a challenge for you to grow with your north node. It also could create a challenge for you to let go of the south node in the 1st house. So focus on your relationship, a healthy relationship. Release things, your personality, 1st house, that you no longer need or no longer serves you. And then beware of things from the 4th house that could hamper your growth in terms of your north node in the 7th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. For my dear Libra rising friends, for the month of December, we'll focus more on the skip step because this very karmic configurations will happen very strongly in this December. In order for you to harness the month of December, you need to focus on your Pisces house, let go of your Virgo house, and then beware of your Sagittarius house because it will create karma. So 6th house is where Pisces is located for Libra rising. So focus more on your work, daily details, routines, chores, right? But go with the flow in a Piscean way. So do your everyday tasks, your work, your health, your pets, your chores, right? Do all of that, but in a Piscean way. Go with the flow without demanding too much. But at the same time, let go of your self-critical thoughts, mental health. Virgo, while at the same time beware of the new karma that could be created as an obstacle for the skip step from your third house, communication. You're too dogmatic in your communication. That could create a problem for you to harness the Piscean way of the North Node in your sixth house. Sagittarius, the low expression of Sagittarius is dogma, and the third house is communication, dogmatic in terms of communication, in terms of your skills and knowledge, right? So just beware of that. So for Libra rising, your growth in your sixth house, right, could be hampered by your third house, communications, if you're too dogmatic. And the point of release is your sixth house, is your 12th house, your mental health. So focus on your mental health, release what needs to be released. Don't be too dogmatic in terms of your communications, and just embrace the flow in terms of your sixth house matters. For the next rising sign, we will go to Scorpio rising, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, in order for you to harness the month of December, you need to focus on the skip step, because this energy is very karmic and will happen mostly in December. So it will be between Pisces, your 5th house, Virgo, your 11th house, and Sagittarius, which is your 2nd house. So problems or obstacles for you to grow in your 5th house could come from money, because North Node, Saturn, and Neptune will be in your Pisces house, which is your 5th house, right? That is where you're going. Joy, creativity, children, you're heading towards that. So yes, you can focus on that. In fact, the universe is asking you to focus on that. But you need to let go of your critical attachment or critical point of view in terms of your 11th house, which is your hopes and dreams. It is also your friendship, your network, right? It is also your long-term goals, your gains. And you also have to be careful of your money, 2nd house, because the skip step will hamper you or will create a new karma that is not really beneficial if you're too dogmatic in terms of your money, because the skip step will come from money, 2nd house. So just embrace the joy of creativity, 5th house, while releasing the too overtly critical view on friendship, for example, 11th house, but at the same time beware of money that could create obstacles for you to enjoy your 5th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Sagittarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius sun and Sagittarius moon. For my dear Sagittarius rising friends, the skip step or the main configuration of December will happen involving you. It will involve 3 signs: Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. So in order for you to harness the energies of December, you need to focus on the skip step. Because the skip step, the point that will trigger it is Sagittarius. It will involve you, 1st house. The point of release is Virgo, 10th house. And the point of growth will be in your 4th house, family. So you're asked to focus less on critical view in terms of career, and you are asked to grow by letting go and trust the universe in terms of your family, 4th house. But you yourself, 1st house, could get in the way. You could get too dogmatic in everything. So focus on your 4th house. Beware of very dogmatic views, Sagittarius, because many planets and luminaries will transit the 1st house. So extra energies, 1st house, you can be very, very dogmatic. So focus on that. Do not let that kind of view sour your efforts in the 4th house, and let go of the critical view that you have in the 10th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun and Capricorn moon. For my dear Capricorn rising friends, the month of December is actually your month, but it will happen later in the month. But for most of the month, it will be Sagittarius, and we'll be focused on Sagittarius because Sagittarius will be the key or the trigger for a skip step pattern. Skip step is when a sign or a planet square the nodes, right? In this case, many planets, many energies will square the nodes. The nodes are currently in Pisces and Virgo. For Capricorn rising, Sagittarius that will trigger this will be in your 12th house, mental health. Virgo will be in your 9th house. And Pisces will be in your 3rd house. So beware of your mental health, Capricorn rising. Beware. In order for you to harness this December, the energy of December, you must be aware of the skip step. The trigger Sagittarius, many planets will transit Sagittarius. This is your 12th house in focus, mental health. You're heading towards your 3rd house, siblings, communication, skills, knowledge, right? Go with the flow in terms of your communication. The universe is asking you to grow on that department. Let go of the overly critical 9th house. Overly critical, meaning that you're very, very dogmatic. 9th house is the house of dogma, the lower expression, just like Sagittarius. And you have Virgo here, very, very, very critical in terms of religion, probably, in terms of travel, in terms of, this is house of philosophy, house of optimism. You can be very, very critical. It's not good for you. So go with the flow 3rd house. But remember your mental health, because Capricorn, Sagittarius is your 12th house. Beware of your mental health, Sagittarius house. Your mental health could basically block you. You also have to remember 12th house is also rest, relaxation, and isolation. Beware of all of that. So just make sure you pay attention to your mental health this December in order for you to harness the energy of December and go towards your 3rd house, your growth. For the next rising sign, we will go to Aquarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. For my dear Aquarius rising friends, for the month of December, the focus will be on the skip step. In order for you to harness the energy of December, focus on your Sagittarius, Pisces, and as well as your Virgo house. For Aquarius rising, your Pisces house is your 2nd house. This is money house. This is could be very beneficial, very profitable for you, because North Node is here. Even though Saturn is here, Saturn will leave your 2nd house. Neptune is here, Neptune will leave your 2nd house. So this can be a very beneficial time. The universe is asking you to focus more on money. Good. But at the same time, the South Node is in Virgo, your 8th house. This is the house of shared resources, intimacy, transformation, the house of debt, insurance, investment, stock exchange. This is also the house of psychology, secrets. The universe is asking you to let go of those things. But you also have to remember, the skip step will occur if there is another sign that's squaring the nodes, or another planet that is squaring the nodes. In this case, we have a lot of planets, a lot of energy squaring the nodes one by one in the month of December. And Sagittarius, for Aquarius rising, will be in your 11th house, because for Aquarius, your 10th house, your 12th house is Capricorn, and your 11th house is Sagittarius. So your friendship, your network, social media, your hopes and dreams, your long-term goals, this could hamper your growth in terms of money, 2nd house. So in order for you to harness it, focus more on what you can do to grow your money, 2nd house. But because this is Pisces, it's go with the flow, right? Of course, the details will depend on your own natal chart, but in general, 2nd house Pisces is go with the flow, right? And then let go of the critical thoughts in terms of your 8th house. But just beware that maybe your friendship, maybe your social media, maybe your network could get in the way of your growth in the 2nd house. For the last rising sign, we will go to Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my dear Pisces rising friends, this month of December, your sign will be one of the most important sign. Why? Because your sign will involve in a skip step. Skip step is when planets or energies squaring the nodes. The nodes, the north node are currently in the first house, your house. South node is currently in your Pisces, in Virgo, your 7th house, and Sagittarius is currently in your 10th house. That because many energies will enter Sagittarius, right? So a skip step will happen. Will square the nodes. So your focus is the north node, your growth. The universe is asking you to focus more on yourself. So in order for you to harness the month of December, focus more on yourself. Let go to unhealthy or clingy attachment towards your relationship, partnership, seventh house. But at the same time, beware of things or new karma or obstacles that could come from your 10th house. Because the universe is asking you to focus on yourself, but maybe sometimes your career or your work will get in the way, 10th house, Sagittarius. So be very mindful. Let go of your attachment, unhealthy attachment towards your partnership and relationship, 7th house. So focus on yourself, let go unhealthy relationship, 7th house, and beware of things that could come from your 10th house career that could create an obstacles for you to grow in terms of your 1st house, because the north node is there. Focus on that.